I've bought my dream hot hatch and it immediately has a problem. It's called the MG ZR160, which means it should have 160 horsepower. I then race tuned it, so it should have been putting out 170 horsepower, but when it was put on a dyno, it was way down. So my dream hot hatch is roughly 30 horsepower down. Let's sort that. In today's video, we'll be forensically searching for where the engine power loss could be coming from, settle once and for all whether the K-Series engine is crap or not. How many K-Series MG Rovers do you think have got through their lives without head gasket failure? And get my hot hatch back on the dyno to see if it's finally creating the power it should. After defeat to Richard against his race-built MGB, I've brought my hot hatch to Retro Sports Cars in Yorkshire to find MG Rover mad scientist Chris Flanagan. There is nothing this man doesn't know about the K-Series engine, so with an Auto Alex hill climb event in a couple of days, my car's performance was now in his hands. Chris, thanks for having me and my ZR in your workshop.
No problems.
It's currently about 30 horsepower down. What do you think is wrong with it?
Sounds very much like VVC timing could be a problem.
Okay, because it's flat. That's what everyone's saying. It's just very flat power curve.
Yeah. And cam timing is quite critical on producing power.
Okay, so what is your first course of action? What should we check first?
I think first thing we'll do is we'll get some live data, see what the cam timing is doing, see what the manifold pressure is doing. That way we can establish a course of action where we can fix it. Okay,
so 30 horsepower down. What's best case scenario?
Best case scenario is just the VVC mixer timed up wrong.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, you need an engine.
Well, looking around here, there's a few cases. There's a V6 there.
Yeah, we could put that in. That's easy enough to do, yeah.
Okay, let's get some numbers from the car then.
Let's get some numbers and take it from there, yeah.
Okay. Chris plugged MG Rover Jarvis into my ZR to see if it immediately had any complaints, but the initial numbers looked good. So Chris, just to idle, what's it telling us here?
So idle, our manifold pressure is 35 kPas, which is an ideal pressure. That's telling me we've got good valve sealing, we've got good piston rings, and then we've got VVC timing. That's where it wants to be. But the VVC cam is split in half. And all the data is taken off one half of the cam. So if that's timed up right, then it will be right.
It'll show right, okay.
But if the other half's timed up wrong, then it could be causing you a problem.
Okay, but this is telling me I don't need a new engine. The internals are doing what they need to do.
I don't think so, looking at that. And listening to what it runs like.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're just a couple of teeth out, maybe on VVC timing.
Okay, so take a look at that next.
That's the next job.
Reversing the car onto Chris's ramp, our next move would be to take off the cam cover and check out both the engine timing and the VVC timing.
Got some gloves?
Yeah.
Keep your pinkies clean.
I get shouted at for not having gloves. Mostly from my mum.
Come off.
With mum appeased, we set about unearthing the sprockets and belt of the MG's timing. So out came the coils, followed by the cam cover. That's the intake.
This is your intake cam, yep.
And that's it. So the intakes are split in two.
Yes.
But the exhaust is one solid piece.
Yeah. So your main drive belt drives this inlet cam and that exhaust cam. And there's another belt on the back which drives this inlet cam.
And then this is the VVC.
This is your modulator.
And that is controlling, like, where is the actual physical VVC? Is that up here?
They're in these hubs. You'll see these when you can just see the back of them there.
Oh yeah, in there.
Yeah.
And will you know immediately if the teeth are out? Like,
yeah.
will you be able to see, oh wait, you're 4 teeth?
There's a procedure to time it up.
Right.
And if that doesn't time up, then we know there's a problem.
In life, I've learned that it's always best to find the right person for the job, hence why I contacted Chris for the work on this ZR. Something I've had to be super vigilant about since starting up this new job and spending a lot of time on my laptop is protecting my data. And that's why I've partnered with today's video sponsor Incogni, the best people to look after my information. Imagine you have 160 pieces of personal data, like your name, address, email, phone number, amongst others. Those pieces of data are currently being collected from different places on the internet and then bought and sold by people called data brokers. They will happily trade your data, meaning you may only have 141 pieces of personal data left safe. Incogni works in the background to track down and remove your personal data from around the internet. It will find your info from places like online directories, people search sites, and even commercial databases. Use the link in the description below and my discount code Fernie to get 60% off your annual plan, because at the end of the day, they can't harm you if they can't find you. Thank you to Incogni for sponsoring today's video and protecting my data, meaning I can crack on making content for you guys and this channel. While they're hunting down data brokers, let's hunt down some more horsepower. So why is it a split cam? Why is it not just one solid one that's controlled by that same VVC? Because
these all move independently. So if they were connected together, then they wouldn't be able to move independently.
Okay, but does something like a Honda VTEC, do they have split inlets as well?
They just have another cam they go onto, don't they? There's like an actuator that moves across and it moves it onto like a higher profile cam with a different cam lobe.
Okay.
So if I think of EVC, I'm not really strict one, but they have two cam lobes, a low RPM one and a high RPM one.
Yes.
And it's just basically an actuator that moves it backwards and forwards.
It sounds like a less complicated design than this.
It is, but this works because this is variable. It can be timing at any point.
Rather than kicking in.
Yeah, whereas the VTEC is either a low cam lobe or a high cam lobe.
Okay,
right. So
what next?
Pull this back cover off.
Outside as well, okay. With Honda's world-beating variable valve timing system suitably slammed Rover style, Chris cranked the engine manually to check the fundamental timing, using a unique K-Series tool that I now want in my arsenal. I like that. I want a K-Series timing tool. How much is one of them? Are they like sneakily expensive on eBay?
About £3.
Give me one of them. I'll just have it like hanging from my keys, like that. Okay, so the actual timing of the VVC, is that still within here?
Yep, so you've got two bits of timing. You've got your cam timing, which is done on your belt. Then you've got your VVC hub timing. So the timing, these have got to be timed together.
So what I want to find out is that this is like 10 teeth out and you're like, oh my God, this engine's actually going to create 200 horsepower. This is the Civic Type R that MG wished they always made.
Yeah, you won't even one tooth will make a massive difference.
Really?
Yeah.
30 horsepower?
Probably, let's hope so.
With the engine in time, we moved swiftly on to checking the VVC timing.
Alright, so that should just slide off now, that top bit. There you go.
Wow.
So, how this works is, so the piston has to move up and down.
So this is the plunger.
This is the plunger. Yep. Okay. These two solenoids sit on this. There's a shaft in there.
Okay.
And it pulls a plunger backwards and forwards, and allows oil. You've got oil goes. Main feed is in there. At the bottom, there's a drilling. You can see oil coming out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That allows oil to go to the top of it, and that moves it up and down. And then, as you can see there.
Oh, you can actually get in. Oh yeah.
So that's your cams advancing and retarding.
That's so cool. And then those teeth that we can hear, that's what we need to inspect.
Yeah, we need to make sure that these tubes are timed up. There's no way of telling, you've got to take it apart.
Okay, so we need to pop this.
So now what we'll do,
off here.
by taking this off, gives us access to these cam carrier bolts.
Yep.
Just take these bolts out like you did the cam cover.
Okay. So
your timing is these. we'll just make sure, we'll just pull the hubs off and have a look, make sure they're all working all right inside.
So there's nothing immediate that's like, oh, that's 2 teeth out.
Nothing, not at the moment, no.
The plot thickens.
Plot thickens. It looks the way it should be, which is not what we wanted to see. We just need to keep looking.
Okay.
See, you've got a blockage there, worth taking it off. You see how that?
Okay. What's that? Just carbon gunk?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of sealant, but that feeds oil to that cam journal. So eventually you'd have had wear on there. So I think it was well worth taking it off just to clean it all out.
What's that? This end?
You can see it all there, can't you?
Oh yeah.
In there.
It was time for my favourite part of any engine headwork, removing the cam followers.
Well, I've discovered a whole new way to remove cam followers. They essentially just like oil suction each other out. I will say I prefer the sheer sensualness of a magnet, but this has been a cool little bit of learning. And you can just put them all in the exact place they need to be, rather than trying to sort them out on a table.
What we'll do now is,
they are the loveliest things though. They remind me of like really nicely machined chess pieces. I'd like to make a chessboard out of cam followers. They're lovely.
Although the engine timing and the VVC timing were exactly as they should be, Chris's analytical brain homed in on what he now reckoned had been wrong with my engine.
So Chris, although the VVC seems completely okay, there's something to do with reassembling this that could still have been an issue that we wouldn't have been able to see.
yeah, basically when you reassemble this, you have to make sure that the plunger is fully to the top when you insert it. But obviously with it being running, it's moved, so you don't know where it is. So although these are timed up right, there still is a chance that this could have been in the wrong position.
And that would have meant it doesn't plunge as far as it should.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So when you've got it all assembled, you fit the plunger, and then in these little windows, little drill in there, you'll see the cutout in the hub move round into that window, then you know it's all timed up properly.
So like that cutout there?
Yeah, well there's another one tucked up here, which you can't see.
Okay.
That one moves round into the window, and then you know we know it's all fully timed up.
Okay, if that is the case, then we can fully rule that the VVC is doing its thing and it's something else.
That's it.
Okay, cool. But you also noticed there's something missing within my engine, this exhaust cam here. What's missing?
Well, there should be a dowel peg in there. We just take this out. You've got a dowel at that end, which locates your cam sprocket, but you should have the same in that end. So the only thing that was holding that together was the bolt tension on the pulley.
Okay, so this could have been oscillating
There's
slightly.
a chance that could have slightly moved.
Yes.
So we need to fix that at the same time as well.
So does that mean this cam has been out and that dowel has fallen out of it somewhere along the line?
Potentially, yeah.
Ooh.
It's just like a steel roll pin, so it does lose its tension after a while.
If only this engine could talk to us and tell us what it's been through.
It'd be so much easier.
What would you bet that this engine has been skimmed?
Put money on that, it has been skimmed,
Yeah. At this point, is virtually every K series probably had a head gasket.
Oh, I would think so.
Okay.
Don't think
you might have done it.
Probably, yeah, might have done potentially.
Can we search the reg in your history files
Yeah,
to see if it
don't
comes up?
recognise it.
Okay, so we're basically reassembling all of this, making sure that tooth is where it needs to be.
Yep. So we're going to reseal the cam carrier with the special sealant.
Okay.
And then just basically reverse of what we've just done.
Who knows? 170 horsepower.
Here we come. This is obviously done by a robot at the factory. There's not some brummies up there going.
Do we also put the cam followers back first?
Good spot.
Yes! I did something.
Yeah. Edit that bit out. Let's just lift this off again.
Does that mean your sealant needs to be reapplied?
Nah, it's still a bit wet.
Okay. The one thing I don't like is how sharp the machining is.
Yeah.
If you catch your thumb just on one little edge, it'll have you. These edges here, like really sharply machined.
Take 2. No, we need to put that cam in first.
With my engine back together, I decided it was time to settle the K-Series head gasket debate once and for all. Giving the floor to the man that has replaced more gaskets on MG Rovers than anyone else on the planet.
I can already hear the comments in this video.
So can I.
A K-Series with cylinder head problems. Oh God, how's that happened? So I want to clear it once and for all. The head gasket issues with the Rover K-Series. What happened from factory? So this, all right in saying, is a factory Rover head gasket. So before they upgraded it, everyone says this was a massive issue. What happened?
Well, they actually upgraded the elastomer gasket a couple of times. The original gaskets never had this reinforcing bits around it. And originally they had plastic head dowels.
And those engines, were those head gaskets going constantly? The early K-Series?
Not as much as the later ones.
Interesting. So despite upgrading?
Yeah. The early cars with the plastic head dowels suffered a lot with what they call head shuffle.
Okay.
So if you got a plastic dowel in the dowel hole, it would move side to side, and essentially the head would, because the head bolts are quite thin and they don't actually fit tight in the holes because the oil has to drain down there. So as it warmed up, the thermal expansion made the head shuffle, which then, as it moved, it tore the elastomer beading and resulted in, you know, milky coolant or milky oil.
Okay, and then they upgraded to
And then they changed, probably about 2000, if my memory serves me right, is they went to steel dowels.
Okay, these are good.
Which made the head a lot more, you know, rigid.
Yep.
And then they reinforced the elastomer with the little dots you can see there.
Okay, so my car being a 2001, it will have come out the factory with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then what happened?
Then they changed the coolant in 2001.
Oh, I haven't heard this one. Okay, everyone blames the gasket. They changed the coolant.
They changed the coolant
okay.
To OAT, which is organic acid technology. When you fit silicone hoses to your car, you're not meant to run OAT antifreeze because it attacks the silicone and makes them go soggy and mushy.
Yeah.
We've got silicone on your gasket, which is in contact with your coolant.
Okay, I can see where this is going.
Maybe they were all right when they were factory filled, but obviously as a dealer, you would buy your coolant probably from the cheapest supplier, because obviously they'll down a profit. Whether the dealers bought the right spec coolant, who knows? But yeah, there seemed to be a lot of head gaskets from memory after 2001 than prior to 2001, where they had the old glycol-based antifreeze. And also, the strength of the coolant, they were 50% mix. When I did a little test, I got 3 cups of coolant. I did neat coolant, 50% and 20%. And I got a gasket and took some bits off, and at 50%, after about a month, it started to go soggy.
Roasted it.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And then people talk about this. So this is the multi-layer gasket.
It is.
Is this, I mean, it's what some people refer to as like the Lotus gasket. Is that the case?
It was developed by Powertrain Probably 2007, 2008 for Land Rover.
So for like Freelanders and stuff?
Yeah,
this is
Freelanders
okay.
basically.
Okay.
It's not the be all and end all. Your engine really dictates to you what gasket you can use.
Okay, so this isn't like the absolute 100% cure. Oh, it's got an MLS gasket.
No,
I'm good to go.
No.
Okay.
An MLS gasket, everything has to be perfect for it to work. So you need a perfect head face, a perfect block face, and more crucially, you need all the cylinder liner protrusion to be the same and at 4th thou.
Right, okay, so when you say cylinder liner, so that's what we've got here.
So your cylinder liner is this here, if it'll come out. So the cylinder liner has to sit proud of that block by 4/1000ths of an inch. So when it drops back in, you put a straight edge across there and measure with the feeler blade.
So you don't want it to be flush, you want it to be slightly
You need protrusion because it's the protrusion that nips the firing ring and seals the combustion chamber.
Right.
But then you also need a square block. So if there's any warpage in your block,
from overheating.
Yeah,
because your
any
head gasket's
corrosion,
failed.
you can sometimes see corrosion pit marks on your block face, because obviously it needs to seal around where the head bolts go, around the coolant channels. And then you need a square head that's not gone soft.
Okay, so, but I'm looking at this thinking there's clearly fundamental things with the K series, be it it's like long bolt sandwich design or the way these liners were engineered, that means it's just such a fine line between head gasket sealing and a head gasket failing.
It is. I mean, typical when a head gasket fails is you tend to get water sitting on top of the liner, and then next time you drive, that water, it boils and expands and then pushes the liner into the block. And as you can see, the liner registry there is tiny.
Yep.
And then water then sits under the liner, and then next time you drive it expands and then pushes the liner into the head, and then you end up with indentations in your head, and then your liner's free to do that.
That's not going to sound good.
Well, not as quite as excessively as that, but yeah, it will hammer itself into the head, and then you pretty much got a scrap block because the liners are sunk.
So as a man that has probably done, well, hundreds of K-Series head gasket fixings, would you say that the engine is fundamentally flawed?
No, I just think people don't understand how it works and how to fix it.
Okay.
I get lots of people saying, oh, I've done my head gasket, I've had a head skimmed and all my head's square. But then you've got to ask, well, what about the block? Old school mechanics where they've got old cast iron blocks where they don't really cause a problem. Put a head gasket on it, have your head skimmed, and you're right as rain. But as you can see there's not a lot of material for the head to sit on.
Yes.
Without the liners in, and they do warp. I have seen them warp.
Okay.
Which is not insurmountable, you can fix it.
And then another rumour I've heard is if your head gasket does fail and you do overheat your engine, that the cylinder head is basically toast because it goes, people have described it as porous. Is that the case?
It can do. From the factory, the head face is hardened. So you're only meant to skim 0.2 of a mil off it for a clean-up skim. Any more than that, then you've skimmed the hard layer off.
Right.
And then you're into soft material, which then when you torque your head down and run it, it just puts indentations in it. You're going to hide it to nowhere. If you need to skim it more than 0.2 of a mil, ideally you need a new head.
Okay, so it basically depends on how badly it's warped during overheating.
So if you're ever doing a head gasket, don't automatically think it needs a skim. Clean it up and test it. If there's no firing marks in there, just clean it up, check it for warpness, and if it's good, stick it back on.
So if you were to bet on what head gasket is in my ZR, do you reckon it's on its factory, or do you reckon it's been upgraded?
Don't think it'll be on its factory. I think it will have had a head gasket in its time.
Okay.
I would probably put money on it's got one of these on it.
How many, percentage-wise, how many K-Series MG Rovers do you think have got through their lives without head gasket failure?
10%.
Wow. So 90% had.
Yeah, I would say so.
There you go. 90%. Effectively all of them have had it. But that's got you rich now. Look at the cars you've got back here. You've got bloody SV.
I wouldn't say rich.
Because of these failures, you've got a supercar. It sounds like the commenters are speaking some sense, but I just wanted to clear it up. You know, K-Series, bit of a nightmare, but you just got to push through. It's all good. This one especially, what's happened to this isn't head gasket failure. This is catastrophic. We're missing 4 valves.
And we've got a few that don't seem to fit in the hole right well.
Yes, they've bent badly. What's happened with this?
Basically, this is a prime example of make sure you change your timing belts.
Okay.
Because this is what happens when they snap.
Ouch. Okay. So piston has come up, met numerous valves.
Yep, and dislodged 4.
Cool. Well, there you go. Rover K-Series. They're really good.
Yeah.
Revealing chat over, we brought my K-Series back to life.
Okay, go for it, Chris.
Fingers.
Yep.
Sweet as a nut.
Is it 170 horsepower sweet as a nut?
Find out, won't we?
Fundamentally, I've got a good car. It's just lacking in some places. We'll get there. Hopefully today.
If we had fully fixed my engine, a 30 horsepower increase should be immediately noticeable through your arse, so we headed out to Chris's favourite test road to give the MG a blast.
Immediately?
I know.
Does it feel flat, or are you...
No, it feels quite perky, actually.
Saying here's passenger, I've never sat passenger, but I have for a while. It feels pretty good. This camera shot will be showing how bad my headlining is, but the Flanagan family has helped me out there. New roof lining going in this evening. Like one in.
Yeah, that feels quite perky, doesn't it?
It does feel quite good. We might have done it. We might have done it.
Maybe you should drive a driver.
Yeah,
then.
if I drive on the way back, maybe.
Yeah.
Does it feel 30 horsepower?
Hell.
Does it feel 30 horsepower more? I'm not sure it does. It feels like something has changed.
Yeah.
I think it is running smoother, but I'm not thinking, wow, this is so much quicker.
So better, but it didn't feel like it was 100% where it should be. After a fresh headlining install thanks to Mrs. Flanagan, I showed Chris my dodgy exhaust, the final potential restriction to my engine power.
So Chris, that's the end of the day. A good thing is we've cleared up everything engine side. Everything's working exactly as it should. All the numbers that you were plugging into, they're all great.
The numbers,
right?
you can't get any better than that. They are spot on.
So there's no air leaks from the engine, nothing wrong with the head. The VVC's working exactly how it should.
Yep.
So we're kind of back then to where Paul in a previous video, Paul Lutte, told me, look at the exhaust. Because he said, do not underestimate how much power is lost in a small NA engine with a restrictive exhaust. What have we got here? It's a bit of a hodgepodge.
Well, you've got an aftermarket front pipe and catalyst assembly.
Yeah.
Which is about probably half the size of an OEM cat.
Because you've shown me a picture and you can actually see it through this heat shield. It should be a big like oval cat, shouldn't it? That fits right up in there, and this is tiny.
But the way the car drives, it does drive like it has got a restrictive exhaust. You know, we've had cars in here before where the cat's collapsed. Yeah. And it does just hesitate a little bit when you take off. Okay. This is what it's doing. So
we have checked it. The cat is intact. Yep. I remember having a look in, but what you're saying is it's just way too small.
I think it's just way too small.
And there's a lot of welding going on. So it sounds like I need to basically start again from the manifold essentially backwards.
Yeah, I think your main problem is your exhaust.
Okay, well that's good. It means I've got a clear path forward. I just need a sick exhaust system on this car and it'll be good to go.
You do?
Well, on to Shelsley.
With at least some of the horsepower deficit taken care of, I drove straight to Shelsley Wash to compete in Otto Alex's Food and Fuel hill climb event. My aim was to be the fastest hot hatch up the hill, and I nearly managed it, my 43-second time only being pipped by a pesky turbocharged Abarth.
I am very happy with how this car performed at Food and Fuel, but there's always been that last thing to sort on this car, to get those last few horsepowers back, and it's the exhaust. It's been taken off and it's a complete hodgepodge of bodgery. Some of the welds going on. First of all, a 160 shouldn't have these flexes, so that's aftermarket, probably off a lower powered MG ZR. The welding is horrific on it, so God knows what's happening on the inside where the airflow's happening, and the diameters are all over the place too. It goes small, it then goes big, all the way back to the Jan Speed back box, which is this thing here. This is the one bit of the exhaust I want to keep because everyone wanted the Jan Speed back in the day. So we're going to keep that, but the rest of it is getting custom made here at Swallow's Independent Jaguar. Let's sort it out. Nick, you're the man I've come straight to sort out my exhaust.
Yep, I can see why.
What's the plan going to be? I mean, this looks pretty hellish, and you've already started. So what are you replacing that with? What is this?
Stainless steel to start off with.
Okay.
Little bit bigger bore.
Okay.
So it should be able to breathe a little bit nicer.
Okay, so there's these horrific flexies sitting
Yep.
there on the one before.
Yep.
You've completely got rid of them?
Yep, because, well, my theory is if you have two flexies there,
Yep.
you're limited on space, and then you're limited by the size of the tube that you can use. Does that make sense? So getting rid of them, putting it down here, means you can use bigger tube there. Means it can breathe more, but not too much. You don't want too big a tube.
And this is a fresh cat.
That's a cat. Yep. So we use Jesse G Sports on all of our Jags. They're really good on emissions and really good for a lot of power, but we don't have to worry about a lot of power on this. We just have to worry about scrounging a few horsepower.
You say that. Back. The racers, my man Paul Luty, who's helped us out with the measurements, thank you Paul.
Yep.
He's told me how sensitive these VVCs are to exhaust flow, so you bet, don't muck this up.
Well, we can only go up from here, can't we? Surely.
I reckon there's another 10 horsepower to get out of it, and this could be it. It looks amazing thus far. Am I being annoying by saying please keep the Jan Speed back box?
No.
Okay.
Saves me a job.
Right,
That's
so
for sure.
How will you integrate that? Will you literally just find a place to chop and graft it on?
Yeah, basically where it was joined on before, but
Okay.
the flanges that were on it, again, are mild steel and they're rotten out. So getting rid of all those flanges and replacing it with a nice stainless steel tube and a clamp. So it's fine using that, it's not a problem because it saves me a job.
Well, you're used to doing V8 Jag stuff. This will be a nice break for you. Half the cylinders.
Yeah.
Still make it look nice and pretty.
Yeah, but we're trying to squeeze every horsepower out of this,
Yeah.
whereas they have superchargers, so they just make horsepower.
Okay.
But on the NA stuff that we've done, we've seen good gains. So hopefully, not that I know much about ZRs, but your man does.
If you get this right, that could be a 170 horsepower ZR.
Whoa.
Do not mess with that thing.
Whoa, stop. That's powerful.
Okay, well, I've seen you do your stuff. You're very good at it, so I'm just going to let you cook. I'll go and sip my holy, and I'll see you in half an hour.
Ha, yeah. Something like that, mate.
Good luck.
Yeah, but bye. Don't you want to help? Okay.
Kello did a beautiful job on the MG's exhaust, and driving the car to see Mark at K-Maps, I was feeling very good about how the engine was now breathing heading onto the dyno.
Last time I was here, this car only made 141 horsepower.
which has led to this whole journey with this car up and down the country. So today is Judgment Day. Can it make it at least 160? Hopefully upwards towards 170 and beyond. Who knows? Let's hope we've done it. $160 on the dot. We'll count that as a success. Okay, Mark, we have our final figure, 160.5 brake horsepower. So she's officially a 160 now.
It's like a brand new car.
But the thing is, like, from factory, I mean, that 160, that is technically a PS figure, isn't it? So from factory, these were what, 157?
There was always a 5% dispensation they used. So
Right.
they could claim 160 when it may have been nearer to the mid-150s or lower. So
Okay.
you have an actual figure here.
So am I okay to say this car is now making technically more than factory?
Of course,
Just
we're there. And what's the mileage?
64.
Well, with that kind of figure at 64,000,
Okay.
you could be proud.
Okay, but with your K-map, you would expect 170. So we're a square away on the dyno paper from
Yep.
where it maybe should be full health.
We're much better off than last time,
Yes.
but the actual figure is still lower than the race cars, which run similar numbers. In fact, I've had to amend your numbers for your changes.
Interesting.
So we did get a bit more out of it.
So this top power figure, is it what, 7.6?
Yep. That
Yeah,
is
max power at 7.695. Bloody hell.
That's obviously a bit of an overshoot in the limiter, which we set at 7.5, but
Okay.
it was pulling all the way, which is phenomenal. It's breathing really well.
Well, to me, we did a dreaded compression test first time we were here, and I think it was cylinder 3. I mean, it was down. It wasn't like, oh my god, you've got compression issues, but it was down. So maybe
It could
that's
be that,
where that
yeah.
10 horsepower is.
The final thing to attend to, hopefully. But if you're happy with the drive, enjoy it.
This is it. I really like this car. Should I be completely stripping the engine down to maybe look at some rings and stuff? I don't know. I'm very, very happy with it. And I could feel that the changes we've made had made it a bit punchier.
Yep.
So it's good to have that vindicated on this sheet.
Well, with that kind of power delivery, you're going to be pulling all through the gears beyond any of the other cars around you, I would think. And certainly the standard cars, ZRs or whatever, if there's one out there, he'll be tailing off in power much earlier.
And Richard's 80 grand MGB beat my 140 horsepower by literally reaction time of a thumb. This thing now, absolutely smoking.
We're not at race power, but we're at sufficient to beat him. So have a rerun.
We'll see. Richard, if you fancy it, rematch. MG on MG, let's go. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated.
Cheers.
The filming of this video has made me realise just how much I care about this car. I've thrown all of the top class specialists at it, starting with Mark at K-Maps, then up to Chris at Retro Sport, then down to Swallows for Kel to do the exhaust, and then back to Mark at K-Maps. It's had all of the MG Rover and welding gods thrown at it. And now I have an MG ZR160 like my badge says. Could I chase more horsepower? Especially if I was racing this car, would I want to dig in and have a look at the internals and try and get that 10 horsepower more? Maybe. But in this world of natural aspiration, a 20 horsepower increase is very, very good. For you turbo boys, it might not seem that much, but for one of these, it's pretty damn good. Instead of searching for that little increase in horsepower to be exactly where this car should be, I think I'm gonna go aesthetics. I'm gonna have a look at the bodywork on this car and make it a real minter. But mechanically, I'm very, very happy. I now have my dream hot hatch, an MG ZR160. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I've been Mike. What's for you won't go by you, and I'll see you in the next one.